Oh man, that's some hot coffee. Welcome to episode number 67 of Reezy Talks. I'm your host, Reezy Resells. Today is Veterans Day 2018. Happy Veterans Day to everyone, and big shout out to everyone that's served in our country, past, present, future. Huge props out to all those guys. My brother actually did 2 tours of duty, so pretty cool, and definitely have mad respect for anybody that's been in any of that stuff. So shout out to all the Veterans Day homies. Happy Veterans Day. But today we have a guest who is a different type of veteran, a veteran in reselling, specifically on eBay. And he goes by the name of Mighty Mushroom. His name is Corey. What's up, Corey?
How are you doing, Reezy? Hello, everybody who's watching. I'm trying to load up the chat on YouTube right now. But hi, everybody. I can't see what you're saying right now, but I will try to get that fixed here shortly.
It's all right.
I'm an amateur.
It's all good. I got the chat on lock. Another thing I think that needs to be said is R.I.P. Stan Lee, the Godfather, Marvel Comics. Yeah, pretty sad loss right there. And when I saw Corey with his green screen backdrop right here, it just made me think like he was going to go comic book on us on some Marvel comic stuff. But Corey, how long have you been selling on eBay for? Let's just get down into the nitty gritty. Let me drill you for a second, and then we can talk.
Absolutely. I believe that I sold my first item on eBay in 1999. I believe that to be the case.
Awesome. And if you guys who are watching live or later have any questions, comment all capital questions, and then we will get your question answered. And there will be special giveaways that I'm doing, shout outs. And the thing that you can do to earn them is at any time in the video that you see or hear a part that is particularly insightful or helpful to you, comment that and then the timestamp of that. And I will pick one person from the video to be a winner of a shout out or some other small giveaway. But back to today's video. Corey started selling on eBay in 99. How long until you started taking it seriously?
I didn't take selling online very seriously for a long time, but I didn't take much of life very seriously. So I would actually work some jobs, and while I was doing those jobs, because they didn't pay enough, I would find cool stuff or inherit cool stuff or whatever. It was at a very low volume, and I really didn't understand the capacity, and I actually never had the thought that you could do it for a living, even though I kind of was. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Right. No, it totally does. It's really weird once you think about it. Now I think about it the other way. When I look at people working regular jobs, I'm kind of like, how could you do that? But whatever. Big respect to anybody doing their thing, however they're gonna get it. Next. Go ahead. Sorry, I just kind of want to get this drill session in, and you're like the first victim. I want to perfect it and get it in on everyone. So you were selling on eBay primarily. How long full time?
So I have about 8 years of selling on eBay, or selling online full time, and eBay being a part of that. So about 8 years.
Okay, cool. I know just from our interaction that you sold on Amazon back in the day. Was that ever big for you?
I did a lot of books back in the day, but I don't like to do a lot of work. So
Right.
I feel like you have to do so much work because I'm spoiled by getting in early where you could sell anything on Amazon very easily, especially books and records. Like there wasn't a lot of competition, and the prices were high, much higher than they are now, and the fees were much less. Now I'm just kind of like, oh, if I have to, I will.
Right. So, and you have one eBay store or two, and it's mostly eBay for income right now, right?
I have multiple eBay stores, and eBay is my primary source of income. Though I sell on Poshmark, I sell on Amazon, obviously, because I feel like it's like, how can you be involved in e-commerce and not selling something on Amazon? You know.
Right. You have to. You have to. The opportunity is too big. But so let's dig into that. Currently, what are your monthly gross sales on eBay at?
My rolling 30-day right now is about 19,000.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
I
do
don't
you
have.
know what your profit margin is on that?
I'm not gonna say, but it's good.
Okay, cool. All right.
It's well,
Good.
it's well worth my capital and time being invested in this pursuit for sure.
Awesome. What is your preferred style of selling on eBay? Are you going to thrift stores? What does Corey Mighty Mushroom do?
I I do. I have relationships with the estate sale companies, and sometimes I can get into estate sales before they even get published, which is awesome. I go wait in line at estate sales. I buy things after estate sales are over. About 70% of my inventory comes from estate sales.
So estate sales, huge part of it,
Yeah,
70%.
huge
What do you because that's never been a huge part of my business as being a bookseller primarily. But what do you what do you think about that like dynamic right there? There's a lot of resellers who don't do estate sales or there's people that like only do estate sales.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
guess that's good for you, right? People are like, I don't know, estate sales, and you're over here, you're just bagging it up.
Yeah, I mean, I go in and I build. See, what people do is they'll walk into an estate sale and they'll get kind of skunked because the people don't know them, and there's a bunch of other people who want to buy, and you started to try to negotiate with people who don't negotiate with people that you
Right.
know. That's the difference. Like at a garage sale, you walk up, show your butt, whatever you want to say it. Say, I'll give you $5 for this stuff. If they say no, you can leave and you'll never see them again because it's a garage sale. And in estate
Right.
sales, I've been building these relationships for years, and also. Um, along with that comes a lot of other things too. Not all estate sales are priced. I'm not going to say it's the best way to source for most people. I'm not going to say it's the easiest way because it's not. You need vast knowledge of extended categories deeply. You cannot go into an estate sale and start looking up stuff on your phone. People are going to push you out the way and pick up the stuff in front of you. I mean, sorry,
Right.
that's what's going to happen.
Right. So that's two huge factors that you pointed out, and I guess at least for a short moment right now, we're going to turn this into like an estate sale, inquisitor affair thing right now. So the one thing that's really important that you mentioned was developing relationships. So you're going to these estate sales, and yes, it's a new house, it's a new estate of stuff for sale, but the people that are selling it or running it locally to you are people you've developed relationships with, and because that you might get little special deals here or there or special allowances or considerations or whatever.
Definitely will get special considerations for sure.
Definitely.
Out of
Okay. Well, that's huge. Relationships are everything, and that's like that can
Yeah,
make the difference between you and your competition in any business. Is a certain relationship goes down, then all of a sudden you're like quietly dying, and you don't know why, and it's because someone made a better relationship where you were just doing business. They did business and a relationship.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, business in general, e-com, commerce on the internet, because it's not. I don't even like the term e-commerce, but it's like it's so easy to mask yourself, who you are, and what you do, and just sell things, and people will never come back again because there's so many buyers, right?
Right.
But on the flip side of that, you really need to understand how those types of situations work. And I mean, I just try to follow my instincts saying like, how can I make this deal best for everybody in the deal, no matter what it is? And it's like, I need to take into account my expenses and, listing the things, travel, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, um, yeah, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, well, it's hugely beneficial. It definitely lightens your risk in a lot of areas when you know you're already making those investments, like you mentioned. So let's go to the other part of it where you said you have to know extended things in categories. You can't look your phone up because a lot of people don't have a vast knowledge in things. And I would say, how old are you, Corey?
39.
I would say that you're still relatively young to on the younger side to have like the vast knowledge of different categories of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense to you? Like a lot of people who you
It
compete
comes
with are older than you.
Well, I mean, there's a ton of people who just know way more than me about specific categories. But actually, I'll give it just about anybody a run for their money in like base knowledge. I might not be able to go into like 1900s glassware specific blah blah blah, but I can
Right.
walk in the room and be like, that's unique and interesting because I see things all the time. That's unique and
because you have
that's
because you
what I'm.
have crazy eyes.
Well, yeah, I mean, when something's well
So,
made,
well, let's talk about that. How did you develop that sense?
it's just through experience, dude. I've sold tens of
So,
thousands
would
of things
just a
online.
hunch that I have, does a lot of that knowledge come from searching comps on eBay?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I swear to God, that is one of the largest like underutilized resources. Like I don't understand it. Like that is worth millions of dollars just to have that information. Like that's a whole college degree in any category in reselling in you know what
It,
I mean? Like people
it,
don't understand it. Like I used to spend when I had all the free time in the world, I would spend, 8 hours, 10 hours a day on eBay like just for, like time flies by and you're like, "What the hell am I looking up?" You were just looking at this and then, "Oh god, this guy's painting rocks and selling them." And then you're like, "Oh, he's painting all kinds of other stuff and he sells electronics, but he paints the broken stuff." And then you're like you can go insane. Like it's just like what like you're like used socks are worth like what in the hell? You know what I mean? Like so if you're listening to this or watching this and you're not like infatuated with searching comps on eBay or um yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Am I weird or is
I,
everybody like that or what? Like
I don't know. I really like the pursuit of knowledge and interesting things. So I don't. Instead of like somebody might watch, movies that they like. I listen to stuff
right.
that some, and then I just go through eBay and I start using keyword combinations. We should do Nicole and I were doing a show on it, but she didn't want to do it anymore. But we should do a show where we just do once a week where we both pick keywords and then we go through and show comps on the keywords, the highest things, and then like go and it's really cool. That's what I do. I'll just like basically come up with keywords, things that I feel like are trending, things that I'm seeing around, things I'm seeing people wearing or using or whatever, and then I just start looking at and then all of a sudden I walk into a room and there's a bake light
Well, it's
poker
too
chips.
ridiculous that we have that like even on Amazon we don't have that exact information. We know like how frequently something sells and we know what the different offers were priced at when a sale occurs, but we don't know which offer a customer purchased for the most part. It's like guesswork. But on eBay you have actual and Poshmark you have actual completed sales where you can see what it actually sold for and it's
Yeah,
insane because you don't have to do guesswork as a buyer and it's like I don't know if anyone watching or listening to this ever worked at a retail store or whatever. Maybe I used to work at the skate shop and I wasn't doing the ordering, but I would watch the manager order and it's like you're picking stuff out of a catalog. You have no idea what's going to sell you. Like, here's the new line of jeans. Okay, we'll take, these and those. And I guess those look cool. We'll take those. But with the information that we have nowadays, we don't have to guess like that, like we're buying stuff. Like, you have the ability to be like a perfect buyer almost, like in a perfect world. Pretty, not too hard to achieve that, meaning that like everything you buy sells at least sells, and you're not losing money or whatever. But like, it's just ridiculous, like
yeah, it's so much. There's just so much sales data out there, and there's so many different ways to put it together. And it's like, I want like a heads up display where I just look at something and it gives me a graph. Like, oh, a year ago it was selling at this price. Now it's here, and like
yep. That
I love,
stuff's coming. That
I love,
stuff's coming for
I
sure.
love to see
And
like,
if you're watching this and you don't understand, comps is just like slang terminology, seller jargon for completed sales. And we use those to see if something's worth money. So in a perfect world, you have all the time in the world, you could look everything up. But like Corey said, at an estate sale, people are pushing you. You can't look stuff up. You need to know stuff. Or and then even on a more like on a smaller scale, if you're at a thrift store, you're not there all day. You can't look everything up. You're there for an hour, or for 40 minutes. So you have to at least curate your eye enough, not to just grab stuff, but to be able to know what you might possibly should be looking at, and I think as time goes on, being a reseller, selling more stuff, doing more completed searches, seeing other sellers, you start to like just notice like the shine or like the curl, that people don't see, on all kinds of random stuff, like if you sell a lot of silver stuff, you could probably like see that like that's a silver spoon in the quarter spoon bucket, from like 100 feet away, and I'm just like passing it up and there's like 3 silver spoons, like,
yeah,
because if you don't know, you don't know, right? But there's just
you
so
don't know,
much
you don't know.
different stuff.
I mean,
Do you do precious metals?
absolutely.
So do you like carry a magnet or have all those little
Dude,
techniques down?
I don't carry a magnet. Sometimes I'll have a loop or whatever, but like gold is very, very dense and like it has some characteristics that are hard to pass by. I walked into an estate sale a few weeks ago, and maybe it was like 8 weeks ago, and there was all this like kind of elaborate jewelry, and it looked kind of old and it was a little bit strange, and it just felt really dense, and I was like, this is at 10% of probably its melt value. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I bought it all, and it ended up being like there's a post on Instagram about it, but it ended up all being real unmarked gold. So yeah,
Wow.
gold doesn't smell like a metal. Like silver has kind of a sweet. If you smell like steel or tin or lead, it smells like it has an acrid kind of smell to it.
I wasn't aware that gold had a smell.
It doesn't. That's what's weird. That's what's weird about it. Most metals have like this weird oxidized odor to it, and gold doesn't. And silver actually smells
Okay.
sweet. It has a sweet aroma to it. And like,
Sweet silver.
yeah, absolutely. I'll show you the method anyway. I think that it's easy to walk into a room or the third day of an estate sale or whatever and be like, oh, everything's gone, and walk out and not do anything. Instead of being like, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself to find the things that nobody knew about. So on Friday, I slept too late and I sent the text message to my connection at the estate sale company too late. You can get on the pre-list at a certain time, but it's a very short amount of time, and I spaced it, and I got into the house 40th, went upstairs, puppled around the house, got a few things, got up back up to the front, and everybody had come through and kind of ravaged the front cases because that's what they do, and they left behind a mint condition unshuffled tarot deck from the 1960s, 1968, Tarot Inc. The only other one, and they sell for a lot of money. The only other one for
What's
sale,
a lot? What's a lot of money?
like $400 to $500.
Okay. For a
Un,
stack of cards.
yeah.
And
Which
what'd you
there's
pay for
tarot
them?
sets that can go for thousands of dollars.
No, no, no. I feel that because
Yeah.
they sell on Amazon brand new still for good money for like $30 for a tarot deck with some stupid book, and I always find it without the tarot cards, and so I can't sell it. You
And
you damn tarot card
yeah,
books.
this was one that
Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. You scan it, it's like it's worth 60, it's worth 40, whatever, and of course you don't have the tarot cards.
anyway, so that was awesome. Like I rolled up and I was like, oh, I didn't find too much, and I kind of cringed, and then I looked over and I was like, you're joking. Like I instantly knew what it was, and like the house was full of. There were 40 people who are professional sellers before me who just didn't know. Who would pass that up for $5? Like you weren't looking, you didn't know. Who's too cheap to buy something for $5 that sells for 400? It's just because they didn't know.
Right, right.
And I mean
What
that's
did you
one.
what did you pay for it? $5. Gangster. Smash the like button if you appreciate that 5 to 500 flip right there.
I'll show the flip when I flip it. I believe that it's gonna go between $400 and $500.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it for
That's really good.
6.
What is your average eBay sell price? I think I remember you saying it's pretty high, right?
It was about $45, but I started to deal in a lot more like Nike, this special Nike stuff, and it's really good, high quality, super rare stuff. But I got a lot of it, so I'm selling these hats for like $30 a piece, and they're 100% worth it. If you go to my store, you should definitely buy one. They're feather light. They weigh like 1.5 ounces, and they're extremely well made.
What team
And
is that?
this is Purdue, the Purdue Boilermakers, I think.
What if I don't like Purdue? What are you gonna Purdue about it?
Purdue. I couldn't tell you. I don't even know where Purdue is. I just like the hat.
All right. So
I like
yeah.
when they call me
So
big.
go buy a Purdue hat from Corey's eBay
Not
store.
Purdue, you goofball. There's all kinds of stuff. There's countries, there's flags, there's college.
Okay. High-end Nike featherweight hats.
Yes.
All right, cool.
That
But
I've got a
what you're
lot,
saying is, what are those? Those are like 30
30
bucks,
bucks, and I'm selling tons of them.
right?
So
So
my average sale price
you're at
for like 35, but I'm making really good money on this stuff. So it's
all
cool.
right, cool. So it came down a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
It's good.
my average buy price dropped significantly. Um,
Shout out coupon code for the live viewers.
Coupon code. Oh yeah, no coupons. This stuff's awesome. Buy it if you're smart.
Go
Resell.
buy it. Corey's making a lot of money. He's not giving you a coupon. Sorry,
No,
guys. I tried.
it's you. You could actually buy from my shop, and if you're willing to wait and market it a little bit better, you could actually make money. I promise you.
Do that. If anyone does that, I'll make you a guest on my show. So let's continue with that. What does your eBay operation consist of?
So
Besides what you already said, which was you buying at estate sales, and I'm assuming that's just you. You don't have buyers. You do all the buying.
I do all the buying, and I don't just buy from estate sales. I have private sales that get set up. I do all kinds of other buying. I have
And you have a pterodactyl in your background.
Tara daughter. She wanted to come down.
I'm just kidding. How old is your daughter?
4.
4. Awesome.
Yeah, she's watching. She's watching Story Boss.
So let's go to the back to the eBay operation. How does that work? How is it structured? And
So
what are you able to accomplish with that?
I decided that I really liked doing this, and I was going to see if I could. So I rented an apartment that had a basement that was like this footprint of the entire building. I did that so I could run it in my basement and figure out whether I could do it, if I could fly or not. So I worked on another project called Delivery Dudes. You can look it up. It's a food delivery service, kind of like Uber Eats. And I started it here in Portland, and it just wasn't profitable enough. There's so much competition that it was. Well, that's a whole nother show, but I was like, I got to do something, and this is what I like, and this is what I'm good at. So let's give this a shot. Let's invest every dollar that we can back into the company, and let's actually grow a company. So I did that for 2 years down here, and then during that time, I was looking for a building that was between $1,500 and $2,000, preferably $1,500. One came up that was $3,000, and it's in the middle of Sellwood in Portland. It's the main shopping area. I only use it commercially on the back end. I don't let the public come in yet, but that's part of the buying plan that I had when I rented it, and probably come spring I'll have that done. But I wanted stuff to be able to come to me. So the guy wanted 3,000. I offered 2,000, paying 6 months up front. And I totally thought he would say no because it's like over 30% off. Well, he said yes, and I was like, oh shit. Seriously, I looked in the mirror and I was like, I had the money. I didn't try to make the deal without being able to make it, but then I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to give this dude like 15 grand right now.
Right.
So I did, and I moved into this commercial space, and I believe that business should be modular. You should be able to say, this is this thing, and it connects to this thing, and it connects to this thing, and at the end, the customer experience is complete, or the transaction is complete, or whatever. So I have 2 like main warehouse rooms, an intake room where people can come in, bring their stuff in, or any people who want to come in and buy. because everything's locally available. I have lots of local customers who come into the shop and get stuff from me. They buy it on eBay first though, or on OfferUp or whatever. So I have a place for people to come chill. Now I want to convert that.
Let me interrupt you real quick. How much of your business is selling on local marketplaces?
5%.
Okay, so not very much.
No.
But how much of it is local pickup eBay?
1 in 50 orders, something like that.
Okay, cool.
It's not a
Not
ton,
much.
but it's still cool.
Right. Yeah. Do you have
Yeah.
a little bell? Do you have a little bell at the front counter they can ring, and then you have
I
to
have
go
a
over
bell.
there?
I have a really unique location, and it's got an iron gate, and I have like these like kabuki fighter dudes in the window, like an old Japanese like entrance way. So
Yeah.
there's a button, then you can ring. It's like Willy Wonka. You can ring the bell. Then you go down this crazy hallway, and I have this Victorian house that I've converted into like this e-commerce situation. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I could do a tour for everybody at some point, but
Willie, if it's as cool as you make it sound, which I'm highly suspect of, you should definitely make a video.
it's really cool. It's extremely, extremely cool. So I have some space downstairs too, but I have like 1,500 square feet above. I have 1,500 square feet above ground, and then I have a huge back patio, and I have a hot tub out there, which is clutch.
Nice. So let's get to the details. How many people do you have working for you? And then what are they doing? And what do you do besides just buying?
Okay, so in along with that, so I have a shipping department where I can plug somebody in, and I have like a listing department where I can plug somebody in. Right now, I'm the guy who does all of the drafts that are made. I turn those into listings that have prices and all of the. I take the
You're
draft and complete it. Okay.
okay. So you have a worker who's photographing stuff and making
They're
drafts.
they're creating the unpriced draft. So they take like 7 to 12 pictures and then put the description, and they cut the description. Excuse me, they put the title, cut the title, put it as the description. And that's all we do. Unless there's something very specific we need to point out, we just take really good pictures and we identify exactly what the product is.
Right.
So we don't.
Okay. And how many listings do they do per hour usually?
I pay $2 per listing, and I use contractors. I have two. One doesn't work very much right now. It's kind of like taking a break, and then the other one comes in and usually does 60 per day. So they do 60, and
Nice.
they do 60 and whatever time they want to do. Sometimes they come in at 9. Sometimes they can come in at 4 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter. They can come in whenever they want and use the equipment whenever they want. I have multiple phones, tablets, different size light cubes. Everything's organized on shelves. You just start grabbing bins, taking pictures, and then what they do is they assign the pick location and put it on the shelf. So for me, all I have to do is price it, and then when it sells, I actually do all the shipping too. So every day I just go pick orders. I do same day shipping until 2 p.m. Pacific time. So any orders that come in, usually if I don't have to pick up my daughter.
So why do you do the shipping yourself instead of hiring someone?
Because I can.
Okay. Just to save money or what?
It's not really to save money. It's like my sales volume might sound high to a lot of people, but my expenses are really high, and I actually have to work as at a position in my company still. This company is only about 3 years old.
Okay.
I started it with like $300, and now I have, I do 200,000. Well, this year I'll do 250,000 in sales, and I have 200,000 on board in inventory. So,
Congratulations.
yeah, so I've worked really hard to not go broke and reinvest the money and stuff. So when I have to tighten my belt, earlier this year I had a full staff. Okay, it just didn't make me happy.
Right.
One guy was taking advantage of me. The other person just wasn't as smart as I thought they were, and I just didn't want to deal with them. And so I was like, I'm just gonna retract. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's one of the huge struggles with small business owners, and like the difference between like a small business and a big business, and like entrepreneurship goes through those struggles as well as like the hiring thing, because I struggle with it too. Like I literally almost fired someone today, like a few hours ago, because of just a bunch of different stuff that I looked up, and then we had to have like a meeting or whatever, and it's like. It's like, Jesus, it's not difficult to do the job. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's difficult to find good help or people that care And I think some people are like experts at hiring, and that's really like how you grow into like a really big business is to have, someone who deals with, the human aspect of the business, the hiring, the management, all that stuff.
I
Because it's difficult. It's not easy, right?
no, I set up a whole accountability and management system that was really good. Um, but I was looking for people who wanted to make their bonuses, grow the business, and move forward. And that's not what I found. And I'm not the guy who's just going to let it keep going. It's like your first 90 days, if you're not impressing me after 90 days, you don't belong here. Sorry. I'd rather
Right.
do it on my own. So um, I've been doing that part of it myself. And when you do this kind of business, you become capital restricted. So right now, it's like I actually am more capital restricted than I have been very recently. So I need to um, kind of pull the reins back sometimes. So you don't want to lose your business because of a silly mistake.
Yeah, no, I feel you. It's all buffer, extra money,
Exactly.
and more control over your business, especially in the last touch point right there with the product.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I go. We cut off at 2, but if you order up to 4 and I can do it, somebody ordered at 5:35 on like Friday, and I was literally headed out the door, and I usually don't leave until 6, and I didn't need to leave until 6. I was just leaving, so I stopped, went back, printed it out, got their order, did the ship, and then still got to the post office on time. So
right.
that's just how I like to do things.
Awesome. Big shout out to the Lucid Dreamer who just did a $10 super chat that
Oh.
says Happy V Day, Reezy. And that means it's all for me and it's not for you, Corey. It says Happy V Day, Reezy. So gonna have to take that one for the
I
team. Sorry,
want
bro.
$2.
Yeah, I don't even know. I have no idea what like cut YouTube takes. I'm sure it's brutal. It's not nice.
Yeah.
So someone asked, they wanted to know what percentage of your business is Amazon.
I don't know, 5 right now. So I have a professional account and I am ungated in so many things, and people would be drooling to have my accounts. But I scaled it up really big and I started to experience some peculiar things that startled me. And I needed to figure out what those things were, why they were happening, and how I could avoid them. Like 20% return rates for basically same products I'm selling on eBay and getting 3% return rates.
Right. Yeah, the Amazon customer is like much more entitled. What so let's see here.
Lauren?
What
Lauren's in.
happened?
Lauren,
Oh.
whole city loot. Lauren's cool. I like Lauren.
So let's oh Jesus Christ, the money's just flowing in. Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate it. Big time. That goes into the coffee/beer fund. It depends on how I'm feeling at the time. And I guess I'll owe Corey a beer next time I see him. So let's
Pickled egg.
how many items do you have listed currently?
Like 3,500.
3,500. That is a decent amount.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that to 10,000. It's freaking hard. It's a leaky bucket, man.
Are you the new 10K on the bay?
No, it's really funny.
10K mushroom bay?
It's really funny. I have watched some of that guy's videos before. Um, Not really for me. I don't. It's, I'm not gonna say any more than that. But the I did see his videos and I was like, interesting. That's interesting. That might that might help you get to 10,000. That might help you get to 10,000. It's really hard. You want good inventory. You don't want to.
What do you mean, to social pressure yourself into it?
Or to compromise the quality of your inventory.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Well, I
scale up.
think that's hard. Like, how are you going to sell 10,000 items? Like, I feel like your average selling price will be like $10 if you're selling 10,000 listings. Like, how are you going to have 10,000 things? That's
I
just a
sell
lot
5
of
things. It's the
what?
same. It just takes longer. It's like if
Right.
you're willing to, if you're a slow dime kind of guy, you can easily get to 40,000 listings probably. You know what I'm saying? And the because of the vastness of your inventory as it grows, you're just gonna sell things. People, I know it sounds crazy, but people do still buy everything on eBay. Like they buy all kinds of crazy, weird stuff that you could just
Right.
never
Yeah. No,
market.
and I actually wanted to talk about that too. I think a lot of people like to give up way too early on everything.
Right.
But eBay takes like the sore brunt of it. A lot of times people say eBay's this and eBay's that, and like, yeah, they're growing, things are changing, but like it's still good and it's like still true. Like the number one, what's the best tip? How do you sell more stuff on eBay? Make more listings. You know what I mean? Like,
I
wow.
everything, Reezy. I tried everything. I tried to have better stuff, cheaper stuff, more expensive stuff. And I've done so many experiments. And I'm a scientist. Like I have a botany degree. I'm which is biology. If you don't know what botany is, but it's biology. So and I have a lot of statistical background kind of stuff, and I know how to do like split testing and look at data like subjectively and figure things out. And the only thing that I figured worked is to grow your inventory. If you want to be successful on eBay, what I think, if you're selling post consumer products like I am, you need large inventories.
I mean, obviously, having quality helps, but volume of inventory is probably more
I mean,
important
you
than
still want,
quality.
and because you're gonna have to offer free shipping on a lot of stuff because people just won't buy it without free shipping. People buy stuff just because it has free shipping. They've done all kinds of like studies and stuff, and it's like free shipping is a huge factor. But yeah, you want a sales price that can. You don't want to. If you lose money on your inventory, whether you know it or not, you're still losing money, right? You don't have to know it.
Right. So here's a question from my mastermind group. Ryan wants to know, what is the 80/20 of what's the most fun of the business for you? I guess it's two questions. What's the most fun of the business? And or I know it's kind of confusing. 80/20 applied to the fun of the business. Like what do you like the most in the business that like produces the most results for you? It's got to be buying, right?
Yeah, I like, and it's not like buying individual items. I like to like discover these opportunities that other people just don't even. It's not even on their radar. It's like an asteroid out in space, and you're like, bam! You just catch that asteroid, and you're like, I'm about to mine this asteroid. Like I'm mining the sickest asteroid right now. It's has to do with Pendleton, but whew, it's pretty.
Yeah. No. I feel you on that.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Let's go to the chat and see if we have any questions in the chat. I don't know what happened to my chat. It's all grayed out.
I'm
The
looking at it.
chat's
So jack up the price and offer free shipping. Yes, just look at. I mean, things when things sell, they sell for a price. If you can see what like the trending shipping is going to be, if you know it's going to be like $10 to ship it, and you're looking at other things that have sold, and you got to kind of factor that in whether you're going to make money anyway. You're not going to sell it for more than it's worth unless you get lucky. And I have like I've sold $10 things for $100 somehow.
hold
Just
up. Hold the phone.
yeah.
Hold the phone.
Mhm.
Steve Rakin himself, aka Rakin Prophet, the Godfather, just blessed us with a $2 super chat.
$2. Funny because I want my $2. I've
No
met
no disrespect, but
no,
that was
no,
just the most
kidding.
funniest thing ever. And
I've
I
met
thought about how funny would that be to just berate people that super chat you. Like, oh, you super chat me? It's only $2. I can't
$2.
believe you. The gall of this guy super chatted me $2.
Oh, Steve. I met Steve at eBay Open. It's really funny.
Steve's a great guy. I love Steve.
I was sitting in a beanbag chair, like in the middle of the day, like in the middle of eBay Open, like a beached whale, and Steve walks up, and I'm like,
Someone in that Brian the Oak Book Pricker is out here laughing emojis, calling Steve a big spender. I'm sorry, Steve. I didn't mean to disrespect your generous $2 super chat. I'm sorry. This is legit the most I've ever laughed on a live YouTube.
You should laugh.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. That was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Steve. You had to bear that one. I'm sorry. We love you, Steve. Steve Rakin, the man. RakinProfit.com.
I saw that Steve was out. I think I saw on his Instagram that he was doing something out with the Tony Robbins stuff.
Yeah.
Steve
is big into the motivation, inspirational talk stuff. Tony Robbins, and I'm a huge proponent of that myself. I need to go to a Tony Robbins event. But I do want to let people know, because I bet there's plenty of people that are watching this that are like where I used to be. I fully used to think all of that stuff was a scam, and all those guys were like con artists, snake oil salesmen, and it wasn't that long ago. It might have been only like 5 years ago or less when I started to realize, the secret, scarcity, not having a scarcity mindset. You know what I mean? Like all those things, and just like how you can program yourself and brainwash yourself and get what you want out of life, etc. Like all these good things, exercise.
You have power to your existence that you can guide.
Yeah, exactly.
It took me a long time to figure that out. And like, I love being with my family. I love focusing energy on that. I love focusing energy on my business. I like focusing energy on helping other people. I like all of those things, and I like to crush it and make money and be like, this is easy. Like, let's keep going. This is easy. And then sometimes I'm like, oh my God, somebody did the third $150 refund request today. And
Steve says right now, he says, every time I go to a Tony Robbins event, I come back and crush life. So I keep going. And I think that's really all that matters. It makes sense. Like even if like, let's say it's all hogwash, right? Like whatever it is, like not even talking about Tony Robbins specifically, but if you come out of it and you're like high energy, high vibes, and you're killing it and like crushing it, like who cares? Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like
you can go and teach other people how to do that, because maybe you take the power back. Like
right. It's like Space Jam. Are you familiar with the American film classic Space Jam?
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Well, in the end of Space Jam, they're losing to the monster team, and then they drink like the special water, and it like gives them all their powers back, because the monsters had their powers, right?
So
they drink the special water and they get their powers back, and then they win. But there was no special water, it was regular water. They just thought it was special water, and then that gave them their power back. And it's just like the symbolism to know that like your power is within yourself, and that like if you can do that, then like you can become more skilled at that, and like training yourself to brainwash yourself to believe and to get what you want out of any certain situation. So like it's super powerful.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I like to make money too, because that's nice.
Yeah. No. I'm not like, oh, money is everything, but you need money to live, and it makes life more comfortable. So like I'm more in like in between. Like if I was ever to get like a Lambo, I would have to be balling out of control so hard that would be like an afterthought. Like, because there's so many other things I would do if I had that kind of money before I got there, that like the Lambo would be like, I would have 10 times more money than most people that would buy a Lambo, because that would be like an afterthought for me.
Yeah, if I was going to buy a Lamborghini, I would need to easily buy 100, like easily. And I would buy one, but like I'm not a frugal, like I'm not super frugal, but I'm also not extravagant. Like,
right. No. I'm similar in the same way. But I was at a conference a few months back, and there was a guy, and he had a good insight, and I'm not going to like break it down and everything, but basically he said like, both of these two schools of thought are right and both of them are wrong. One being like the entrepreneur that's like, you got to hustle, 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 make that money, be successful, take advantage of life while you have it, get what you want. But then there's like the Buddhist or like the spiritual person that is like, well, you're not living in the moment, you're not experiencing life, you're not even truly happy. And like you see a lot of people that have a lot of stuff and are a lot of success and they're not very happy. And you see a lot of people that have nothing that are extremely happy. And I know myself, I've been pretty happy with almost nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like, but they need to meet in the middle somewhere, because like, how can this guy be right? Like, he's so successful, such a good businessman, but like he has a terrible relationship with everyone around him. And he's just out of touch with the world. But then like this guy, he's super in touch and he's the best and everyone loves him. But like, yet he needs to sleep on your couch because he doesn't have any worldly possessions.
Yeah. Like I don't,
you know what I mean? Like that's not a good balance. You know what I mean? Like
on either side of that spectrum.
Right.
And I find I'm in the middle, but yeah, I could learn how to work harder for sure.
Awesome. Smash the like button, guys. We're gonna go into some detailed nitty gritty stuff right now.
My eBay selling limit is, so you could give people hope that it does get better if you're just starting out.
Can you hold it up to this? Oh, your phone is the screen, so we can't do that, right?
Yeah, I can't do it right now. It's a billion.
No, but Corey, no. You know what? I can hold up the picture you sent me. Did you send it to me on text?
Yeah.
Or was it on Instagram?
I think it was on text.
Let's see real quick. Let me check my phone. 2 seconds, guys. Thank you to Apple Technology.
I've been on here for a long time, so
okay, no, I got it. Here it is.
Hold it up
for the people. 2 more seconds. Sorry, guys. I'm not like Joe Rogan. I don't have like an assistant to like bring it up and like show you on like the third screen. But this is Corey's eBay selling limits. Let me see. Boom. Is that backwards to you guys or was that forwards? Is that good? Can you guys see that? Hopefully it's a lot of nines. It's a lot of nines. It's just long enough to where you don't want to count it. You're like, yeah, it's at least a million. It's at least like 999 million, something like that. Like
it's greater than 999 million.
Yeah, you don't look at it. That's the type of number where you don't need to look at it anymore. You're like, yeah, it's big enough. It's 999 million.
Let's see. Okay, we got some questions. Do Funko Pops sell well? You gotta more.
Dude, no, Corey, the metal sniffer, also would like to let us know if Funko Pops smell well.
Shush. You know what? That question is like a question that you shouldn't be asking. The question you should be asking is, how do I tell how things sell well on eBay?
Right. And you look up completed sales, just like me and Corey do.
Exactly. So I'm not going to that question though.
Especially in Funko's in itself is like a thing. Like you could be a Funko expert, and that could be your entire niche. Like all you sell is Funkos. You're the Funko gangster, and like, you just trap Funkos all day, right? So it's pretty vast, but you got to look it up. Like I don't have the time to, and I actually, you know what? I don't know, Corey, you can give your input on this after me, but I feel like it's better. And I say, like, be a thrift army knife, like know about a lot of stuff, like know
how to find out about it.
Right. Yeah. But also know a lot of stuff too, because like you're going to be going to places to get things. And a lot of these things can be found in similar places. And if you're already there, the more you know, the more well-rounded you are, the less likely you are going to be coming up empty-handed when you're investing your time to go source stuff.
Exactly. Let's say you're looking at estate sale pictures and you see that there's a Vitamix and there's a $50 price tag on it. You better be there early to get it and be at the place where it is, because somebody is going to get it because they saw that too. But better is that you say, okay, if I see that, I'm going to get it. But also, like, let's figure out what else is going on. Let's not go in with any preconceived notion about what's going to happen.
Hey, guys, if you're watching the show, I'd like to thank you for showing up. Please smash the like button.
Yeah, thanks for showing up.
What does that sound like when I whisper on the microphone? I've never done that before. I've always wanted to whisper, guys. Can you hear it? So, hey, let's talk about some stuff. Someone had some technical questions on eBay. They said, is it better to do 30 days fixed listing versus good till canceled? What is your...
Okay, this is what I do.
What is your factomatical
I'm gonna
opinion.
tell you what I do, and I'm gonna tell you why I do it. And it's based on split testing. It's based on actual research, not what somebody actually said or anything like that. This is research I've done myself, um, and it's looking at conversion rate. So what I did is I had basically two sets of things that were very similar in price. Oh, very similar in price, and said this is good to cancel. This is 30 days, and my conversion rate was almost 70% higher on similar items when they were at 30 days. So that said everything for me. So
And is
what?
that including the same time span, or like, a 6 month period and this item was listed 4 or 6 times and this one stayed listed?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so because at least my input on why that is better is because you get two boosts every time you list an item. You get the newly listed boost, and then in the end you get the ending soon boost. For people that are looking at stuff that's ending soon,
Yeah. Yeah. So
and then you're doing that more times.
so what I do is I have an anchor store, and I have the usually 3 to 4 thousand items, and I needed to be way more than that. So the anchor store makes more sense financially, but whatever. You get some other benefits that I won't talk about right now, but you
Right.
can look into. Um,
What
what
about what
you
about
do,
the new feature offers to watchers? Have you used it
let's talk
yet?
about that after I say that this is what works for me, and it is based on actual research. You want to list your items for 30 days, okay? When they
30 days.
not, if they do not sell, you need to sell similar and then delete the other ones. Look about how to do that. When you sell
Right.
similar, creates a new listing. And now this is going to change slightly because of this whole offer to watchers thing. Now watchers have a whole different deal, so this is going to change the strategy a little bit. But if there aren't a ton of watchers and you have similar keywords, you can just jumble the pictures around and you can throw it back up, and it makes it more relevant because newer listings are more relevant. They
That makes sense.
um, so, and I can't tell you why that is, but it is.
It
So
makes sense because I'm guaranteeing it's because some people list new stuff, and sometimes people list it, it's going to sell really quickly. The price is like really good, and eBay makes commissions like that, so they're going to promote, to give everything at least a little whack to see if it's that quick sell. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So the new feature there on the new dashboard on eBay, a lot of people have been saying, why don't we, like, you have these watchers that are interested in products, but you're not letting us interact with them or do anything to promote sales. It's completely ridiculous. You guys are living in 1994. Like, eBay is so 1994 still. It can be exceptionally annoying. So many glitches, so much ridiculous stuff. But so they rolled out this offer to watchers, and you can basically say, hey, all watchers, buy it today, it's 20% off. Buy it today, it's 30% off. Do
It
this.
goes to every watcher, or can
Goes,
you
goes
choose?
to all watchers. I mean, you don't know who the watchers are, so it doesn't matter. It just goes to all watchers.
I guess that makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
I mean,
That seems like a
watchers,
killer thing to me.
it's
I
great.
mean,
It's
as long as
but
it's not someone like me or you, I don't know how much
eBay
social
should be a
media
company that
traffic you get, but I get a lot of people that watch stuff, and
yeah.
they're not going to buy. They're like my followers that are messing up my conversion rate.
The Pendleton jacket, yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, someone called it out. That is super fly. Did you source that yourself?
I did.
I'm guessing you didn't pay full price, did you?
No, I don't pay full price for anything.
Could we I want to do like can we do like a once a week expose where we blast any reseller that paid full price for anything, like this
I just get on.
weekend
I get on.
Corey was spotted paying full price. Dun dun dun.
I
Reseller jail.
At lunch, when I'm sitting there eating lunch, I pull up Poshmark and I just start lowballing everything I want. Like, I'm just like, I offer people 20% of what they're asking, and like
You're evil.
20 people will say yes. So it usually works out.
It's a numbers game, just like we were saying before. It's all quantity.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
numbers game.
cool Pendleton stuff on there. But yeah, so eBay has some new features.
Have you used it successfully?
I haven't gotten a sale that I can see, but I don't know how you see whether it worked or not.
Is it automated, or do you manually send the offers to the
You
watchers?
manually do it, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they make
Okay.
it automation in the future.
Too bad it can't be because then that way it would kind of be like a force feed best offer.
Yeah, it would be cool if it was like offset a little bit, like 5
Like,
minutes later they get
buy it right now. Pay this
hey,
much.
if you like this, if you get it within the next 24 hours, you can have $20 off or whatever. I love that.
Yeah, no, it's killer. Why not?
They
Why
should be
not?
doing that. I just got a counter offer on Poshmark just now.
They're coming back at you. You're trying to buy a Pendleton jacket for $2. What do you expect?
That's basically what I do. But whatever. I don't
Corey
want to
buys
pay
Pendleton jackets for $2.
It's like, if you're willing to accept it, whatever. It's a fair offer. I have the
Do
money.
you use any software to list on eBay? This is a good question that we can dig into. Like,
No.
let's detail your listing process a little bit. How do your listers do it?
We use the eBay app. So they just take the eBay app, take pictures, type in the description, yada, yada, yada. They use image search if they have to. They can scan barcodes. They can look up other comps.
Making all the drafts entirely on the phone.
So we pull, I would say 99% of the listings are cloned sold listings. So we're looking for the listings that sold for the highest price that are closest because those keywords obviously influence that. So we pull those. Of course. Yeah.
Like, real quick, let me rewind that. If you don't understand that, you need to understand that. Like, this, like, we just go over that so fast, me and Corey, because it's like everybody knows that. Like, it's like common sense, right? But like, I don't think a lot of people know that. Like, when you research completed items, you should, I mean, you don't just do this. There's more research though. One of the things you should do is sort it by highest price plus shipping and try and understand why certain items sold for so much more than others. If there's 30 different comparable condition items and half of them or 25% of them sold for so much more, you need to understand why. Likely it's the pictures, maybe it's the shipping options, maybe it's the keywords, most likely it's the keywords, and you need to be doing sell similar. It's just simple logic. These ones sold for more, so let me duplicate their title and maybe modify it like the slightest bit, right? So very important to know, guys. Like, when you're replicating completed sales for like your own items, you want to strive to make your own completed sales similar to those that you've seen in the past that attained higher value if for comparable quality of the item that you have.
Correct.
The other thing you need to know is just because something's listed for a price doesn't mean it's going to sell. Yeah, and I hate it. I hate it so much when people do that. Like, people are trying to sell you stuff and they give you a price that's way too high and they're like, I looked it up on eBay. It's going for $90. And you're like, no, actually, lady, it's sold for $30 pretty frequently. And this one person you're looking at that has it listed for $90 is never going to sell it. Maybe once a year.
Exactly. Maybe.
So what about auction? Do you use auction at all in your business model?
Terrible at auctions. Either I'm terrible at auctions and I have a ton of experience, or auctions are just generally bad for the types of things that I sell. I'm not saying that for everything. It's just
you sell a lot of weird stuff, right?
It sells better not at auction. It sells better.
No, I mean I agree that like buy it now is more important for everything. Big shout out my boy Henry Tube over here with the $10 super chat. Nice. Go check out Henry's YouTube channel. He got a couple videos up on there. But what were we saying before Henry so rudely interrupted me with the $10 super chat?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding, Henry. I really appreciate it. It's a heck of a lot better than Steve's $2 super chat. I had to call back to the I'm just kidding. We love you. We love you, Steve. He's totally gonna retract his $2 super chat now.
He's gonna do a chargeback.
Oh my god. I totally forgot where we were. So okay, back to auctions. I remembered we were at auctions. So
a lot of auctions.
Hold on. Mr. Potato Head.
They're cool. They stimulate. They say they stimulate certain things. So I always have
your store.
Yeah, I always have some auctions running. They're just like dollar auctions and stuff that.
Right. So I see in the chat we got a knowledgeable comment over here by Prod by H2. Just listing different softwares you can use to list on eBay: InkFrog, Sellbrite, Channel Advisor, Octiva's eBay tools. Kaiozu for eBay, Solid Commerce, Vendio, Listing Tools. I didn't know that Vendio was operational. Is Vendio operational? I've used InkFrog and Octiva back in the day to make all my templates for eBay. And I think both of those are great services. Back in the day, Octiva was better than InkFrog in my opinion, but was a little behind. But the great thing about that is that you can manage and list to your eBay account through those tools without having to give like your VA your eBay password. So like you link that to your eBay account, and then you can give, your employees or your virtual assistants your InkFrog or your Octiva password, and they can access that to manage your eBay account, which is super duper cool. But back to the auction side of things, and I was actually just talking to my boy Big Mike right now. He was listing stuff at auction, and he's selling really well. He sold like a bunch of medical supplies and like a combo DVD thing for like 150 recently, all at auction. And he's like, "Well, I started it at like 60 and it went for like 150, like this combo player or whatever auction." And I was like, "Yeah, probably would have went for a good amount more buy it now." And I was trying to explain it to him, the psychology of buy it now. And I was like, me personally, as a consumer, I don't buy stuff at auction unless I'm trying to like snipe an auction to flip something, like I want it and I want it now, like blame Amazon. Like I'm not going to wait, and then like feel like I got it because I made a bid and then I don't got it. And then I should have bought it all along because now it's only $3 saved. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't think a lot of people that want stuff right now, and I think that's the consumer nowadays, are buying auction. So,
I
and then
made
he was like,
$400 this week on sniped items
that you bought
on eBay that I sniped.
Is it stuff that you have saved searches for?
Yeah.
Nice. So you get the emails, you check them out, boom. That's another big pro tip, guys. Pro tip. Someone comment the time stamp right now. This is a pro tip. If you don't know what saved searches on eBay are, you can search for certain items. Let's say you're searching for this Mr. Potato Head coffee cup, and let's say this one's rare and it normally goes for $100, but occasionally someone lists it for $20 and it sells, and you've seen it. So you have alerts that you make a search, you search for this item, but only if the price is under 30 and it's buy it now. And then you save that search and eBay will email you when those items come up. And I don't personally use it as a regular way to buy stuff, but I've used it to find, high dollar, somewhat rare personal items that I wanted to buy, like a rare, turntable that I purchased or whatever, just like stuff that like, if you want it right now, you have to pay way too much that you have to wait till it comes around because you pay like 60-70% less. And it's like, a couple $1,000 or whatever.
There's a lot of like rare perfumes and clothing items and things like that.
There's all kinds of stuff. That idea can make you so much money. For example, like sniping complete DVD sets, even sealed, like, for example, just like this will make someone will listen to this and this will make them a lot of money. Just looking up complete sealed DVD or Blu-ray or new, buy it now, set, maybe plus or minus the word season or whatever at certain prices. And you wake up every day and you check those 100 emails that it sent you while you were asleep. I guarantee you will find opportunities to make money every single day. I guarantee it.
I shouldn't even say this because this is such an interesting. So people misspell things, right?
Oh yeah.
And
people will misspell the word misspell.
There's something that you like to sell and that you're very good at. Do save searches for all the other keywords that are close to it that you might misspell, because
right,
that's how I get some of these crazy things for nothing.
Right.
He doesn't know how to spell something and they have no idea what the price.
Right. And if you guys are unsure if something is like actually being searched on eBay, besides obviously doing a completed search and seeing like, oh, people have listed and sold items that they misspelled or whatever, you can actually, while you're on eBay, you want to use an incognito browser on eBay and then go into the search bar and search for stuff. And there's autocomplete in the eBay search algorithm. Whatever eBay is suggesting, that's going to finish your sentences or whatever, like when you type like Canon or whatever, there's going to be misspellings in there. If those things show up, those are keyword phrases. Those are what people are searching for. And there's going to be a lot less traffic for something that's misspelled, but a lot of people are going to, because no one is going to see it, you're going to have a higher opportunity of preying on that person, that they listed their camera at an auction and they started it at $20 and it's a $400 camera.
That's
and
not the way to
there's
put
only,
preying
there's
on
only like, what?
You're not preying on anything. You're saying if this meets
No,
the specifications, I want to buy it.
I feel like that's, I mean, I don't mean it in a bad way, but I feel like you're I definitely feel like that's an accurate description. You're preying on someone's literacy challenges.
No.
No? You're taking advantage of the situation.
I don't know. No, I'm just ready.
I mean, they're not personally being preyed upon, but you know what I mean.
I'm making a buying decision. I've made the buying decision before they even listed it, basically, and then they list it, and then I buy it.
Yeah, I mean that's basically how it works, right?
Best deals on eBay at auction, in my experience.
No, definitely. If you can wait for it. But the opposite side of the coin is true. That as a seller, that's how you're going to attain generally the least amount of profit for your sell, unless what I found the only time auctions are good for selling items is when you're selling something that is in such demand that you could price it at a penny and it's going to end up going for market value, or like the sky's the limit, if you have some kind of one of a kind museum quality type stuff or whatever, and you get the opportunity to you don't risk the chance of underselling yourself on a buy it now on a rare or high demand item. You know what I mean? Like,
you're not going to get max value for everything you buy and sell.
Right.
I mean, it's like you know that, and I know that.
Right.
When a good
what is the pursuit of trying to attain that lead to? Hoarding, stale inventory.
Silly. You're in this business to turn your money over. Take that 40, turn it to 80, turn it to 160, turn it to 320, grow your inventory, grow your business, and you can't do that if you're just sitting on top of stuff forever. It's just not
right. Yeah, you can't. It's just pointless. So that brings up another position where I think auctions are very helpful on eBay, is stimulating your store positioning by sending stale stuff that, if you have 500 items in your store and 200 of them are over 6 months old, to a year, maybe consider taking those portion of them and sending them to auction. I mean, at least maybe send them to auction and start them at what you paid for it. That way they at least sell, you get your space back and you get your money back. Like, you can't just hold on to everything forever, and I think that's really important. I didn't learn that for a long time because I sold just books and they're super cheap. So it doesn't matter. You're like, I don't care if it takes 5 years to sell, it's a book you can put on a shelf. They store easily, but it's like, it doesn't work out in the long run with the most business models.
I mean, when somebody assigns value to something and you buy the market gap, I don't see a lot of problem with that. There's certain situations, like if you walk into this grandma's house and there was a Picasso on the wall and she didn't know and she wanted $1 for it.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe you should give her the $1 then, but you sell it for $250,000 at auction and come back and be like, here's your $125,000. You get half, whatever. I don't know.
Right. If you're a kind soul.
A certain level.
But I mean, let's be real. Some people aren't going to give, the $5 back to the guy at Burger King that gave him too much change.
Yeah.
So they're definitely not bringing the granny the 120 stacks.
I'm not looking to scrape anybody in general. I need.
Right.
I want to get.
No, awesome. I do the same thing too. I mean, it's not a Picasso, but when I'm doing retail arbitrage and I've cleared the shelf and I have, of course, all of the hottest toy in my cart or 2 or 3 carts that I have, and and you can literally hear children going, "Oh, I wanted that." He's got it all. I always give the kids or the parents 1 or 2 or you guys want one? Here you go. I'm not losing actual money. It's potential profit, but
Yeah.
It's the joy of a freaking child, guys. It's a sacred joy of a
I feel
child.
like we've gotten really tangential here. So yeah, I mean, I think if you want to be more successful on eBay, go beyond what you should normally do. Don't wait to ship people stuff. Have the supplies you need on hand. Get good things. Don't list garbage people are just giving you or you're finding in the garbage.
I mean
Get
that can
good.
be good. It's just
No,
not going to be that
people need
good.
to be good inventory. They
Right. Yeah,
have
but I
to
mean,
fit.
one
And
man's trash is another man's
they don't.
treasure.
Most people don't understand that you're just some person in your basement. They think you're eBay. They think you're this. They think you're that. You should go beyond
I
that.
bought it from eBay. Like eBay, the logo wrapped it itself and sent it to
Exactly. Well,
you.
if it comes from me, it comes in an eBay box with eBay tape and an eBay sticker and an eBay bag. Like I make it
That's how
look
they want the customer to feel, though.
great, awesome.
Let's talk about pictures though, real quick, because I think that's like a really important thing.
Okay.
But the one I want to come at it from a strange angle. Like obviously, really good pictures are really good. Duh, right? Like the most megapixel camera, your pictures are like so zoomable. I could print it out and wallpaper my house with it, right? Like
Mhm.
that's obviously the best. But like a lot of iPhone cameras, like what you're saying,
They're all fine.
take
I use
perfectly good
we
photos. It's fine.
use the Nokia 7, which has a 12 megapixel front and rear facing. These are
Right.
12 megapixel, awesome, awesome optics on these. The battery lasts forever. This was in
What
my
do those cost?
$200. You can probably get it for way less,
Cool.
but they used to be like $200. It's got a huge screen on it. It's a
Right. And
really
you don't need a, a light box is cool. I like a light box, but you don't need it. You
you
can
don't need
literally just
it.
have like a
Definitely
piece
don't
of
need it.
white poster board and some crappy lights, or like
Making
there's
investments in your business, in the infrastructure of your business that are reasonable makes you do better. I promise you that though. Like if you have the opportunity to buy the light cube, do it because it will make your life easier not having to roll a sheet of paper out or do whatever. But if that
right,
is
yeah.
the
But like literally it's hard. It's like, okay, like I just want to see what you say to this.
okay,
What's the only thing worse than terrible pictures on your eBay listing?
there's nothing worse than that.
No, nothing?
No. There's nothing you could do worse than taking bad.
Okay, well what about taking no pictures and not listing it?
Oh, well, yeah, yes, that's not doing something though. That's doing nothing. You said the worst thing.
Right, but you know what I mean, right? Like I just have like I tell people that I wanted to see if you would say it, but like the only thing better than like worse than, bad pictures is no pictures at all. Like
Right.
literally there's people that have things they could list and sell and they're fretting over the pictures and it doesn't really matter. Literally lay
I
it down, like clean
all the
up an
time.
area of the floor in your house, photograph it on your carpet, on your wood floor, on the sidewalk, like as long as there's not like oil stain. Or here's what I like to do a lot in a hurry: grab a cardboard box, photograph it flat lay on the cardboard box, and it's like, you can't see anything else, and also feel like it creates this sense to the customer like, hey, we're about to put it in this box, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but the mentality is just take the damn picture and list the thing, because you could be trying to get it perfect and like you don't even make any different amount of money. You make the
that's a
same money.
whole different thing though. That's like that was kind of a pointed question, I think, because yeah, there if this is a hobby for you and your hobby was climbing mountains, you would try to climb the mountain. If this is a hobby for you, you need to list the stuff and get it for sale or whatever. If this is your business, you can't just have inventory laying around. That's money. That actually
Right.
represents money. And you're just basically taking money and putting it in a pile, but it's not a currency that you can use because nobody's going to be trading you for that stuff if they don't know how to get it. And that's all this thing is. We're just trading. I trade junk for money, and then I trade that money again for more junk, and then I trade that junk for more money. just go back and forth. That's what I do.
Yeah, wait till they figure out what we're doing. I'm just kidding. Like, I get more money. How did that work? But it's important. I think a lot of people, and it's like that's not even just about selling stuff. Like that's like a life tip in general, right? Like if you don't if you don't swing the bat, you're never gonna hit the
Well,
ball. You know what I mean?
Babe Ruth had like the most strikeouts, but the most home runs too, or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. No one remembers. No one remembers. You know what I mean? Like, and I forget who said this. Someone else said this. Just came to mind real quick. But like, how many points did Kobe Bryant score in his last game? Like, people remember that number, but they don't remember, how many shots he missed. You know what I mean? Or his accuracy percentage. You know what I mean? And it's like he knew that. You know what I mean? And you want to go out on a high note. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what you do long term in your career, because your percentage is going to be out of whack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about going hard. I don't even know how we got into that tangent.
Dude, I liked it though.
No. I definitely did. So let's go over a couple things. Obviously, most important for people that want to be successful on eBay is like literally just make more listings, list more stuff. And like there's like a 10 chapter course inside of that, but like you could wrap it up in that, list more stuff.
Yes,
Buy more
completely.
stuff, list more stuff.
Make sure people can buy your things. Even if you
Right.
don't make money on them, if you're a new seller on eBay, the more you sell, the more they'll like you and the more they'll promote you. That's how it works. Like they promote sellers who do better. So if you don't do very well and you continue to not do very well, they're gonna like it just the algorithm loses interest in presenting your things to customers if you
Right, it's a waste of time. There's literally a dollar value assigned with every spot of the screen that a customer looks at any given moment when they're conducting searches, which are potential sales, and eBay sells ads on the side also while they're perusing the site. So it's like
be prepared. That's the other thing.
they want to roll their best dice, you know what I mean? And you might not be their best dice if your store's not performing very well.
You're absolutely right. The next thing is like be prepared. If you know you're gonna have to ship something out in a medium flat rate box, have a medium flat rate box. Have a stack of
Right.
like have as many as you can fit where you need to be. If you're really serious about this and you really want to do it and you are like, this is what I make. I don't like what I do. There's nothing
No,
else.
you need to be fully prepared. Like
Fully prepared all the time.
here's a quick example of how I was not prepared. I'm liquidating a bunch of large, oversized Nerf guns in my eBay store right now. They're like the largest Nerf gun you can buy. They're returns from my Amazon store. They didn't sell last Christmas or whatever. So they're like 65, I think, right now. And the shipping's like 20 to 50, depending on where you live. Some poor guy in Puerto Rico ordered one. But the thing is they're so big, I don't have a box for them, and they're like not packaged in a way that you can wrap them in paper and send them like that, and or definitely not in its own box by itself. So I had to make a box, and I'm telling you, this is like an almost 4 foot long box. You know what I mean? And it's like 5 inches thick, and like 14 inches wide, whatever. Anyways, it's a nightmare. You have to like take 4 boxes, flatten them, wrap it around it like a dress, and like become like a cardboard seamstress to like make it fit. Anyways, long story short, I wasn't prepared, and we started selling them, and it takes way too long. And I finally was like, and I'm paying my employee to like dress this cardboard seamstress act. And I'm just like, you know what? Screw this. We're buying boxes for these things. I don't care what they cost. They cost $7 a piece, like after shipping from Uline, for us to get the amount that we needed. And that like is a lot, but it's like, screw that. I'm not gonna be not prepared. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's not efficient for us to spend our time screwing around with this one oversized item. We need to just get them out of there. It's a bad decision. We're making our money back. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you got to be prepared, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so we were talking about things to get better on like eBay or e-commerce or whatever, and I'll continue on that line. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, and don't trust what other people say on the internet as some kind of truth. Okay, like if you want to learn about something, learn about it, figure out how to do it yourself. Don't assume that somebody else is. There's a group of people online. I don't know if they're associated with each other. They make YouTube videos, but I'm like, oh my God. It's like a lot of them are about like trying to cheat the systems and doing this and doing that. The best way to do anything is to be honest with your customers, honest with yourself, and do things the best that you can and continuously learn how to do things better. And you will get better. You're going to struggle. Like, you are going to struggle. It doesn't even matter how much money you have in this business. At some point, you are going to struggle in any
Oh,
business.
for sure.
So don't have the illusion or delusion that because you see other people that are smiling somewhere who are doing this or that, that is the reality of things. Um, this is a difficult business. It's not, you're not going to get rich quick doing this. Even if you're the smartest person on earth, even if you get extremely lucky, it's still going to take tons of work, lots of marketing power, lots of understanding, lots of building relationships, infrastructure, figuring things out, making mistakes, and not saying, I made a mistake and I quit now. And stop feeling
Right.
sorry for yourself. Stop making excuses and say, you know what? I said I was going to do this today. The customer ordered it today,
Right.
and I said I would do it today, so I'm going to do it today. And that doesn't mean you can't make mistakes because I do. We all,
Right. Well, that's you have to make mistakes. That's
you're
literally
not
how you move
working,
forward.
not making mistakes.
Right. If you're not making mistakes, you're not working.
But doing things in a half-ass way and making mistakes isn't cool. Like it's just
Right, for sure.
kicked off of eBay or Amazon or anywhere else. No one wants to
Yeah.
deal with your bullshit. We
You know what's funny? I think it's funny when you see in Facebook groups or anywhere where people are complaining where they got kicked off of XYZ platform. The story is always hollow and like halfway there. Like you never get the whole story. You know, it's always like they kicked me off and I didn't do anything. Like that's literally what the story is. And
it's
you
never
know every single time that's never the truth. They're like
never
selling fake jerseys.
exactly.
They were like
Got one like
they were drop shipping and you're not allowed to drop ship.
there
Like
was
I don't
like
know why they kicked me off.
from Korea or something, like
I have no idea why they just kicked me off of the platform. I was just following the
for the
rules and
19th
everything.
time I relisted Rosetta Stone, even though they told me every single time that they would kick me off if I relisted it. I just did that anyway, and they kicked me off, and it's just not my fault. Like,
It's like
well,
I don't understand why, you know. It's like, dude, come
I
on.
feel
Like
like
every people I don't understand why people don't understand the long-term value. Like, okay, and I like to like clarify, and I don't know about you, Corey, but before I was a reseller, I mean I guess I sold like candy at school and I sold like weed when I was a kid or whatever. But before I was like selling online, I was damn I lost my train of thought right there. What were we just saying? I'm sorry.
before you were selling online, you were flipping burgers. I don't know.
Yeah, anyways, not important. Let's get back to
You
the
said before
tangent.
you were selling, you were doing something else.
Yeah, I don't know. I completely lost my tangent. I don't know how I did that.
It's okay, buddy.
It's
It's
ridiculous.
okay.
Hazel Hearts Vintage is in the chat. Shout
Kayla.
out Hazel Hearts. We got a
Kayla.
question from Gustavo. He says, "Book question: Can a good textbook during off season show up as a reject on Scout IQ? You need to understand how the game works a little bit better. But I think what you're saying, the answer would be yes, but you need to understand, like, look at the e-score. Like when you scan a textbook, you should always look at the e-score or the sales rank if you use Scoutly and or the sales count or whatever, and just like try to understand how often it sells. Okay, is this textbook very popular? Then go and look at the history of the rank in price. So like almost every single time I scan a textbook and it says it's not worth money, I always look to see if it is worth money because those are the same type of books that you're buying, you know, on Amazon for like $20 and holding them to sell for 80, you know, and right now it's only worth $12, so you're not going to buy it for 3, but you know, when it's 80 and it cyclically is for, you know, textbook season, it's totally worth $3. So you need to look at textbooks on a one-off basis, not necessarily about what the price is now, but what the price will be in season when you want to sell stuff. And that's not just about books either. Like I'm sure almost anything, you know, if you bought a whole swimwear store, you know, in its winter time, you know, you can't expect it to sell for very much during the winter time, right? Like, does that
What
make
do you?
sense, Corey?
I don't know anything about that.
About seasonal stuff, like certain
Oh,
inventory sells much better, you know, like harder to sell like jackets in summertime, right?
that's true. That's
Right.
true. So the other thing I wanted to kind of make a point of is that your accounts are worth a lot of money, especially if they're linked to your IP addresses and your financial information and all
Right.
that crap. Okay, so like if something if somebody if eBay's like, you can't sell a $275 Chanel purse because we think it's fake, or Chanel says it's fake,
Right.
and you're doing $100,000 a year in sales, or
Like,
60,000 or
yeah, well, the
50,000.
long-term value of your account is so
Don't
much more.
give up things of high value for things that don't matter in the long run. Like, I just see that all
Right.
the
Yeah,
time.
I fully remembered what I was going to say. What I was going to say was that when I was younger, I was doing all kinds of different things to make money, and I didn't really care like about how, I might try and like cheat it or scam it a little bit or do whatever, but I was always trying to find ways like to make money on the internet, right? And then when I found out reselling, excuse me, it was like by far and beyond the best way to make money on the internet that I had ever learned of. I didn't know about like writing ebooks and like affiliate marketing or whatever. And so I just think it's important to respect that. And a lot of people don't understand that, like it's not that easy to get a new eBay account or a new Amazon account once they ban you, like, can it be done? Yes. Is it easy? No. Especially now with at least Amazon, I don't know about eBay requiring you to have scans or images of your driver's license and stuff to make a new account. So it's like right off the bat, that makes it so inconvenient. So in order to make an account, you either need to make like a new company, a corporate account or something, or you need to get someone else to let you use their identity to make a business around it. And that presents all kinds of weird stuff. Like they're now liable for the taxes and you have to settle that personally. And it's like, it's all not easy. So like, please, people, value your eBay account and your Amazon account. Like, it's never worth it to like make
I
the
mean,
short buck.
I don't like. I mean, I only want a certain level of competition. So if you want to blast yourself out of the water, that's fine. But I'm letting you know. I'm letting all of you know, watching this now and watching this in the future. Like, these things have very significant value, if not possibly millions of dollars, depending on how they're linked to other businesses in your future that you can gain through doing these things.
Oh,
So
right.
being short-sighted isn't going to help you. Um, and yeah, what else? What else? What else? What else? Any other?
That's pretty much it. I think we've been on here for at least an hour now.
God, it feels like 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Yeah,
Feels
right.
like a long time at all.
Yeah, no, I drank all my coffee, that's for sure. So if you guys have any more questions, put them in the chat right now. Send in your last minute Hail Marys and we'll ask Corey those questions before we head out. And if you guys are watching this, you have any suggestions for who else you would like to see on the Reezy Talks show, please comment that down below. I haven't added it yet, but I will add a link to Corey's Instagram. Is that what you would like me to link to, Corey?
You can link
Your
it to
Instagram?
cool.
In the description to Corey's Instagram, where you can check him out. You do a decent amount of stories and you go live occasionally, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of live stuff, and I just kind of talk like we're talking now. But since I'm driving, I
Right. Yeah.
just talk to myself.
And
But
occasionally he'll go live at like an estate sale,
yeah,
so that's kind of cool.
I post some cool finds, and I have fun with it. It's not anything, and then I offer some things up for sale that are really special on there too. So, and pretty much everything I list for sale gets sold to somebody on Instagram. So, you'll find really exceptionally cool stuff sometimes. So yeah.
Brian, the Oakbrook picker from Chicago. You know Brian?
I don't know if I
I
know
know you.
Brian.
I believe his Instagram's a little bit different. What is it? Like the Oakbrook Clothier on Instagram.
Okay.
I guarantee you've interacted with Brian. Brian's the homie. He wants to know what's your 2019 goals, or do you have your 2019 goals?
Yeah, I want to do 400,000 in post-consumer product sales in 2019. That's my
That's awesome.
goal.
It's a good one. Real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
The other goals are like keep 99% shipped on time, keep same day shipping,
Right.
possibly extended, and then obviously the growth of the inventory is kind of aligned with that sales goal. They're kind of aligned.
Cool.
Getting up to 400,000 in listed inventory.
So for me, this goal is a goal I've had for a long time, and I'm sadly not going to break it this year again, which will be to break the $1 million in sales on Amazon goal. Also to get into wholesale to scale our shoe buying team, our remote team, get a warehouse remotely and have a manager run it to prep my products initially, and then hopefully start a prep facility for Amazon sellers. I think it will work out really well. It should be pretty good.
It sounds great. What's up, Rod?
Um,
I don't like
thank
drop shipping on eBay just because there's a lot of weird tracking issues, and you don't eBay has a lot of glitches and weird secretarial issues anyway. I wouldn't drop ship on eBay, but that's just me. It's
Yep.
because of
Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate that you bumped it all the way up to the full $2 and you didn't come with the $1.99 like Steve Franken. He hit me with the $1.99. Are you out of your mind? Grand Slam super chat.
Like walked in, dropped to $1.99, and then was like, "This is boring. I'm leaving."
The dude, the amount of coverage he got for that $1.99 is so well worth it.
Yeah, no.
I feel like we've like really gave him a solid value for his advertising investment there.
Well, he's put a lot into the game for sure.
Dude, I love Steve. I've met Steve a couple times in real life. Steve's a really awesome guy. So let's see what else do we got going on here? Someone's in here asking you a bunch of questions about mushrooms. What's the deal? Let's answer that real quick. A mighty mushroom. Why is that your name?
I'm a botanist, and I like, so like Mighty Mouse, Master.
Yeah. Do a Mighty Mouse. Come on, bro. They used to call me that in elementary school.
Master Mason, because I'm like part of the Illuminati and all that stuff.
I would definitely believe that. That's where the shifty eyes come from.
This is the guy wearing sunglasses. Anyway,
dude, you know how bright these lights are? I wish I could turn this camera around and show you guys how bright these lights are. It's like I got three
outside of a space portal.
Yes, I am. I definitely am. And speaking of space portals, I just watched a movie called Martian last night. Last night I watched a movie called Martian starring Matt Damon, and he's also a botanist. You get stuck on
because I'm gonna go up for dinner here in a second.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get out of here. Good. We're out of here. We're done.
The Mighty Mushroom thing is because I wanted a name that didn't have like thrifter, or flipper, or seller, or whatever, and it was alliteration, which is easy to remember, and that's all.
No, it's good. Alliteration. Yeah, I respect that. All good marketers know the value of remembering.
Like Reezy Resells.
Right, or Peter Pan peanut butter. Anyways, we're gonna let Corey go for the night as usual. Peace and blessings. Thank you for showing up on the show, guys. Do me a solid and go over and give Corey a follow on Instagram at a mighty mushroom, phonetically spelled perfectly like that with the letter A in the front. A mighty mushroom.
Mighty mushroom. Anyway, right. Reezy, that was fun, man. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good night, man. See you later.
Buddy, bye-bye.
Are you leaving, Corey?
Are you gonna?
You're not leaving? Yeah. No, I'm gonna kick you off. See you later, bro.
Later.
I think I kicked him off. Did I kick him off? I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us on this show tonight. Smash the like button if you still happen to be here for some reason. Comment down below any specific points or multiple points of interest in the video that were helpful for you using a timestamp. That means a number, colon, another number, minutes and seconds. That not only makes it clickable for other people in the community to find those points and absorb them easier, but also for me to create micro content around that, such as quote cards, Instagram clips, Facebook clips, separate other YouTube videos, all kinds of neat stuff. And I will be doing giveaways and shout outs to random selected winners who help me out with that. So I do appreciate that. And I wanted to announce for the real quick, thanks to James Wilson for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. For those of you that are still here, I wanted to announce, especially if you're a new follower, I'm coming out with a free Amazon course. It's actually finished, and I think I'm going to launch it on Black Friday. It's completely free, 100% free. all original content just for people who want to get started in selling on Amazon and don't understand how that's going to be. So stay tuned, alert, because on Black Friday, and I'll be teasing up to it on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot, I'm going to release the free Amazon course, which is completely free and should be plenty enough to get you guys going on Amazon for those of you that don't already sell on Amazon. And I get that kind of really simple, like basic, how do I sell on Amazon question every single day, many times. So the way I made this free Amazon course, I try to imagine like if I bumped into a friend of mine on the street and they didn't know I sold on Amazon and they were like, what do you mean selling on Amazon? And then I explained it to them. And so I made like 5 to 10 different videos. I think it's like 7 to 10 that just break it down for you guys. And it's going to be very, very helpful. So I'm excited to launch that. And yeah, that's actually like the first time that I've announced that. So surprise. Hope you guys like the show. Sorry to just run on forever and ever on the outro. One love. I'll see you guys next Monday on Reezy Talks. And remember, if you ain't flipping, you slipping. Check the podcast for a backlog of episodes if you're missing them. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.